Just getting a coffee. Morning. It's the day after the night before. Coffee time and some toast. And if anyone's on from last night, yes, she's eating again. It's called breakfast. So, just let me fill. I need some water. Put a bit of lemon juice in it. So last night, I went out. For those of you who know me. And let's put some toast on. I got a bit merry. I don't know if people who are American know what I mean, but I just got merry, which was just a little bit happy. It wasn't like I didn't know what I was doing or anything, just happy. And that's when I stopped. And I only had actually about 4 small glasses of wine, which probably equivalents to whatever the word is, two I don't know, normal size, large size, glasses of, can't even speak this morning, glasses of wine. And we got a Jaeger bomber off someone, me and my sister. That ended up being my ex's friends, which we didn't know. And we're like, oh, right, okay. And that's all we had. So, you know, when I came on last night, obviously I could read what people put in the trolls, or wherever they were. Funny, you know, you just don't know if the trolls or people you actually know comment on as someone else because they want to say something because it makes them feel a little bit bigger. Because someone did say something which I thought, thinking about it now, I thought, is that somebody I know? But I think my mistake that way, not my mistake, but putting up drunken chat, they probably thought, oh, someone who's really drunk, let's go and like bug her and wind her up and see if she goes really mad online. No, I didn't go really mad. You were just annoyingly funny because you entertained me while I was making a hot dog or two, which someone said something about. Oh, she's always eating. No, I'm not always eating. I do eat on my channel sometimes because obviously at the time of day I'm filming, I'm hungry like now. I don't know what time it is. I know it's a bit later, 10 or so. I don't know what time it is. What time is it? You know, it might be dinner time, or in this case, I've just got up because I had a lie-in because I went to bed late. I'm having my breakfast. And what? And so what if I was eating all day? You know, like people just come on, like trolls and that, with just pathetic things to try and... Oh, I don't know. But I'm going to sit down and have a chat about it in a minute. But look at it today. And someone even said, like, wash your pots. And then when I looked round, the pots on the side were actually washed. They were draining. I don't dry them straight away. Look at this, guys. It's snowing today. Snow. I've so got to stand in the snow because it's all crisp. Oh, so lovely when it's snowing because it looks so clean. But yeah, so last night just made me laugh. It didn't bug me. I just was trying to work out, like, I'm going to have a chat about it in a minute. Oh, it's going to fall. You're in the cupboard, guys. So, just let me make this toast. Anyway, some people have fetishes about people eating online, don't they? I need a plate. And that's what someone said to me, and I've said this before about coming on YouTube, because obviously you're talking and putting stuff up for people to see, and people can come on and say anything anyway. And I remember one of my friends at the beginning going, oh, what if like you get trolls? Because I'm sure everybody does now and again. That was a bit of a dodgy time to come on at it as well, whatever time I came on last night, because obviously you've got people from other countries that are probably up because it's daytime when it was night time here, so they're watching. People who might have been out and drunk themselves, so they're just coming out with stupid comments. The battery's going to go in a minute. You know, stuff like that, so it's easier to probably catch all the idiots on at that time anyway. No, it sounds a bit daft, but when I'm cutting my toast up, I like to cut it in triangles instead of oblongs, even though I have just cut one in an oblong and one in a triangle. So I'll go in the front room now. So let me see if I can take us to the front room and plug us in so it doesn't go off, and then we'll have a little chat about last night. I'm really bad when I'm drunk though. Not that I was overly drunk, but I do swear a lot. I do swear when I mean, I'll come out with swear words anyway, but I do swear. Just in case you didn't know, especially when I've had a drink and people are talking about stupid things. Right. Christmas tree. I don't know where the lighting gonna come on. Right, so let me go and get my brew. I'm still in my comfies because obviously, as you can see, it's snowing outside and no, they're probably the ones that are, I know you get ones that are, I think you get ones that are paid. Well, the thing is, I'd had a drink last night, so when these people came on, I know they're looking for a reaction, but I doubt I'll be coming on doing that again at that time of night anyway, but I guess you get it on everywhere. And someone said something last night, because luckily I wasn't that drunk. And I can't even say the word, because if I said the word, there'd probably be an uproar. Not that I said it, but I think you do get trolls. You do get trolls that are what for trolling. Yeah, I think you do get trolls that are like young kids that come on. They don't have to be young kids, they come on and, you know, I don't know what the word is, like they're picking on people. They're trying to get a reaction because they think it's funny, because obviously they've got nothing else better to do. They're bored, they're drunk, they're whatever. They think it's funny because they're the sort of people to me, these sort of people are the people to me that in high school were the ones that picked on people. Because to me, them sort of people, some change when they leave school, because maybe it was peer pressure from other kids and stuff, but some people, yeah, but I wouldn't do that because I don't know you. So some people do it because they've got nothing else going on in their lives, and they've got a sad life, so they want to, if they're not happy, they want to make other people miserable. Then I think you get these trolls that are like, I'm sure some people are paid to be trolls. I don't know if that's true. I've heard it. You know, to make... Thank you. To make people maybe say the wrong things on the internet and stuff, so they get in trouble or they get taken down or something like that. I don't know. Whatever the thing is that they're trying to do. Whatever. But last night, I won't be getting into I won't be getting into things like that again. I'll just delete them off it because or ignore what they're saying. But last night it just amused me because I had a few drinks, but I wasn't overly. You know, I knew what I was doing, and I was reading what people were putting, trying to get a reaction out of you. Oh yeah, and I was saying the word that somebody said. If I'd have said it, everyone would have been like, "Oh my god!" Not that I'd have said it, but I think they're trying to make you say stuff, probably to get you in trouble on here. But in that time of night I came on out, it was probably a big mistake. But I just think, why? Why are you bothered what other people are doing? Probably not even a channel that they watch. I mean, I'm not being funny. Some of the people might be people that I know. I don't know. Because some people think it's funny to see someone's reaction when something rude is being said to them or I don't know, whatever they're saying. But that just goes over my head. Someone said something last night about their age, which when I think about it now, I thought, oh, yeah, they were trying to be funny, but because I'd had a drink, it went right over my head. I didn't know what they were talking about. And also, I'm not a teenager. I'm 40 years old, nearly 41. So, if some guys are going to come on here saying stupid, rude things, it's like, I've heard it all before. You know, it's not like I've not heard some of the things some people have said over my lifetime. So, it doesn't shock me, because some people do say stuff for shock value because they think it's funny to see the person's reaction, even if I am going like, oh, what? It's not, I've heard it all before. It's nothing new to me. It might be new to a young girl who's on YouTube, you know, like a young teenager, or even younger, because I've seen younger girls, boys, whatever, come on here. It might shock them, and they might not know how to sort of like poo-hoo it, or the way they're reacting to it, but I'm not a young girl. Been there, seen it, worn the t-shirt, so it doesn't really... Do you know what I mean? But some of it made me laugh, but I just thought, what are you getting out of it? Seriously, they were entertaining me. I was just like, oh my god. Oh, what do people call them? Like, because they're sat behind the computers at home. And a lot of them don't even have a proper account on YouTube because they've just made it up. And someone said last night, sometimes it's the same people. It's not just one person. It could be the same people. It's like, you've really got that much energy in your day or night, whatever time it is, wherever you're from, to sit there making multiple accounts up and trying to, like, annoy people. Like, have you got nothing else better to do? Do you know what I mean? Even if you're coming in and you're watching me thinking, oh, I don't like her channel, and she's not got many followers, this, that, that. No, I haven't, but the people I talk to, I like the people who actually follow me that I do talk to and comment nice things daily. I think they just saw my thing last night, drunken chat, and thought, oh, that's an easy target because she's saying she's drunk. We could, like, say things to her now. She's going to say something that might, I don't know, make a big uproar on her or make a fool of herself, like, someone said something stupid like, oh, I'd like to see you jumping on a trampoline. Funny enough, I've got a trampoline. Like I was going to go and get it and jump on it because I know what they're saying because they're being rude anyway. But I just thought, I wasn't that drunk. I know what people were saying. I was just merry. And that's when I know what I'm doing. I'm just happy. So, I'm not a child anymore. I don't go out getting leathered just to get drunk like some people I know. Just go out for the sake of drinking just to get really, really drunk. It's like a competition. How drunk can we all get? I'm a little bit older, I don't do that. I like to have a few drinks, get merry as I call it, happy. I know what I'm doing, I know what I'm saying. I'll dance, whatever, but I'm just sort of happy. And then I stop. So I only had 5 drinks last night and that was it. And I've only got a bit of a head, muggy head, because I went to bed late. And I'm not used to drinking because I'm not a big drinker. I'm not one of these girls that goes out drinking every weekend, getting really, really drunk at loads of parties. Because like I said, I'm older. I've got 2 kids. I'm not into all that all the time. Because once you've been there, done it, worn a t-shirt, once you've done it a lot, I did all that in my 20s. And it gets boring after a bit. But saying that, you know, I like a good night out, but I can stay in as well. I quite like that. But I'm not one of them, so it doesn't matter what they were coming saying last night. I wasn't that drunk. I was just like, more like, oh my God. And I think it's hard these days for like, because I'm not computer savvy anyway, but people, the generation these days, this is just what it's like. And I know like the kids today, the generation are all computer, you know, I say whiz kids because I don't know what I'm doing half the time. But I do feel sorry for them at the same time because it is a bit of a sad world we live in with, you know, you can come on places like this, and I know on YouTube you're putting yourself out there and this, that and the other, so people think they're allowed to speak to you the way they want to speak to you. But it's sad that people can just come on and like, especially to younger ones, be trolls and say nasty things, because all it is to me is like being in the playground at school, well, being at high school, junior school, whatever school, and getting picked on by bullies, but the bullies on here, trolls, whatever, cyber bullies, I don't know, whatever you call them, are sat behind a computer and you can't see who it is. So they feel more power in that, because if they've got a fake account or you can't see who it is, and obviously even if they've got a name, you know, like mine's Dolly Daydream, you don't know who it is. Them people last night could be people I know, and I wouldn't be surprised. Whatever. But it's easier for people to hide behind a computer. Some could be kids sat behind the computer at home and the parents don't know what they're doing, who they're talking to, who they're bullying, or whatever it is. And it is sad. And it's like, you need to go and get a grip of yourself. That's what Kate was saying last night. You need to go and get a grip of yourself. There's a lighting on. And, you know, go and get a life at the end of the day. Because would these people, would they go up on YouTube? And would they do chats about whatever it is that they want to chat about? And how would they react if they did something they liked on YouTube and they were like, oh, I love, I don't know, whatever they're interested in. Because on YouTube, that's a good thing. If you're interested in something, I mean, I know I'm pretty random on here, but the people that do genuinely speak to me that like it. But if you're interested in something, hobbies, whatever, because you know on YouTube you can find out about a lot of things, how to make, you know, DIY stuff, people who are into vintage stuff or computering, gaming, whatever it is, you can go on YouTube and you can find those people that are interested in, you know, goth, whatever, the same sort of stuff you're interested in. And that's what's good about it, because if you went to school or you're in an area where, for instance, say it is dressing goth and you're goth and whatever, and maybe you're in a little village somewhere and there's not a lot of people that dress like that, so they all look at you a bit like, oh, or whatever it is, or there's just not people around your area, or your friends are not really into what you're into, gaming or whatever it may be, you know, you can go on YouTube and you can find a family, I don't mean a family, but you know, you can find a group of people, a lot of people around the world that are into the same thing, so you can subscribe to them and you can watch their videos and you're like, yeah, it's people that are into the same thing as me, and people are writing nice comments and stuff because you're into the same thing. Where at school, it's a bit harder than that, because you might have a couple of people who are in the same thing, and then you've probably got people who aren't, and then the people who aren't can see that, and they like to take the mick. So, I don't know, it's just like that playground thing again, isn't it? But it's behind a computer, so they feel... I mean, some people might bully online as well, because at school they don't want to be seen as the bullying, because there is a big thing about bullying these days, or there was. But when you can do it behind a computer, to me, that is like a coward, because you're behind a computer, you don't want to be seen, you don't want people to know that you're bullying people, or that you're a nasty person, and you can't come out with comments that are positive. So you've got to come out with comments that are negative. And the thing is, them sort of people probably don't really have proper friends, because behind your back they probably don't like you, because, you know, you're not a nice person, nice things won't happen in the end. Like I've said with law of attraction and other stuff that I talk about, putting positivity out there and being nice to people, you don't look for it in return, like, oh, I'm going to be nice to someone, therefore they're going to be nice to me. I'm going to give something to someone and they're going to give it to me. No, you just do it without expecting anything. But normally, you will get, you know, good karma coming back to you, because that's the way it works. So if you're a negative, nasty person, and maybe there's people that, like, were bullied at school, and sometimes they turn into a bully because they try to get in there before someone bullies them or picks on them, so they have to sort of do it because they don't want people to do it to them, if you know what I mean. I sort of know what I mean. But it's just a sad place we live in. But then again, we see a lot of it on the news about different stuff, and like I said, I don't really watch the news, but saying that, there isn't all bad people in the world. There is a lot of good people, but you don't see a lot of it because they like to keep us down with all the crappy shits of nastiness, you know, so everyone feels like crap. But it should be about building people up. But saying that, if anyone was watching from last night, or there are trolls on here, whenever you're watching it, then people won't be that bothered, because their mentality, whatever you call it, the way their brain works, they're not bothered, because they're not very nice people. And one day something will happen where something will come back on them, and they may understand. But then again, some people might not. They might just carry on through the life like that, never being nice, and wondering why they've not got proper friends, or people don't really want to be around them, or they get this vibe that people don't really like them. Yeah, it's called maybe trying to be nice to people, because if I see something on YouTube and I don't really agree with it, I don't go on commenting. You don't have to comment. Even though I did comment on Trisha Duda, I can't remember her name, in America, saying, you know, I wish she'd just go and get some friends. And I don't mean that in a nasty way, because I do like the girl. I feel sorry for her. But I realised last night that because I did it live last night, because there was a lot of trolling in the title that I put up, about 70 odd people watched it quite quickly. I don't know what it's on now. Not that that's loads compared to what views she gets, but it just made me think, God, it's so easy to be like, the stuff she puts up, I know she puts up for views, so half of the stuff she's doing, she comes across as a bit mad now, and a bit like sad, because it's like she hasn't got any proper friends. But then again, it's like, she's probably a clever businesswoman, because I think she knows this. So if she acts mad, people are going to watch it, because the title she put up, you're like, oh my God, the other day she had a bag on her head saying something about something. And it was like, in that sense, I'm not knocking her, but in a way I do feel sorry for her, because it's like, people make you go that way, because, you know, I could go on a rant now and come in every time I'm drunk and be having a rant with all the trolls, and it'd kick off and I'd get more views. But I'm not going to do that. It's not about that. But I don't know. Like I said, it's a funny world we live in. And to me, it's just like, I thought it's a form of bullying from the playground days. But now it's on. Now it's online. And to me, it's easier. Hang on. I need to go blow my nose. I'm still full of a cold. Yeah, blow my nose. Oh, sorry. I'm just still full of cold, but a form of bullying. And people on here could probably, you know, understand, because probably, if you've never been bullied, then you're probably lucky. But when I was at school, I wasn't bullied as such, and I wasn't like a geek. And I'm only saying that as in putting it in categories of people, because that's what they say at school. And there's nothing wrong with geeks anyway, but I'm not saying, you know, I like geeks, but just in the category of what people would say at school. I wasn't a geek, and I wasn't like overly mega like popular. I was just normal, and that was okay. But everyone at school, you get a bit, you know, school is hard, whatever, anyway. But I didn't get picked on as such as some people have done, or I've heard terrible stories. Mine was more just like lads saying stupid things because they were immature and, you know, they like girls and they say stupid things. And the daft thing that used to go on about me was my lips. So at school they'd be like, oh, you've got dingy lips, you've got big lips, this, that and the other. And he used to get upset about it. And he used to actually, but this was lads, don't forget, so that's how daft they are. They go on about my chest because I've always had an ample chest. But I used to get upset about it because it used to upset me because in the first year, a lot of girls in my class had not developed that much before me. I had, and stuff like that. And it used to upset me. And now I laugh because I just think, lips, what are all the girls doing these days? Wasn't in fashion in the 90s when I was at school, in secondary school anyway, I left school in 93, to maybe have big lips, but then again it wasn't like it is today with all the crap of looking perfect today. But yes, girls have duck lips these days because they have stuff injected into them to have big lips. Not that I'm knocking anyone, do what you want, but they do. So looking back at what people used to say to me is like, yeah, but they paid to have lips like mine now, so who's laughing now? They paid to have bigger boobs, so who's laughing now? Hi, Hayley. Just talking about last night. I don't know if you saw the video. Oh, God. I had to laugh at it. Couldn't stop swearing, though. I'm such a swearer when I've had a drink. I got in last night a bit drunk. I can't say drunk, really. I was merry, so I was just happy. Only had 4 drinks, and all these trolls came on. It's up. It's on. But I was more amused with what they were saying, and I was just like, whatever. Face looks bothered. I think they tried to get you to say things, but yeah. So it's good. So I think everyone's had a form of bullying. People, yeah, have a look in a bit. People get bullied in adult life, even in the workplace. It never stops, I don't think, because you do get like clicky people at work. You know, you have that little group that are more clicky than others, and I don't know, I think you just get it through life. You get it through life, and you've sort of, it's like I said to a friend a bit ago, she's like, oh, there's this woman at work and she's not very nice and not a lot of people like her, and she gets a bit angry and stuff. It's probably because she's got the vibes that nobody likes her, and she's a bit, you know, nasty and stuff, and she knows she probably gets mad because people don't like her, but then she can't stop it, so people just don't like her. I know, that's what I mean. People, you can get bullied all your life. You can, you know, some people might think, oh, I'll leave school. Oh, no, don't give a stuff. You leave school and you think, oh, I can't wait to leave school because I'm not going to get bullied. But then, depending on where you go to work, you could have workplace bullies, because that's what I'm saying. You have bullies at school. You'll have bullies at the workplace. You have bullies on the internet. There's always going to be bullies. But the thing is, I think it's harder when you're younger because you don't know how to react to it. Oh yeah, you've got to stand up for yourself, Hayley. You've got to know how to react to it or not react to it. The more you react to it, a bit like last night, but I wasn't really reacting to it that way, I don't think. They might have thought it was getting on my nerves a bit, but I wasn't reacting, I don't think, the way they wanted me to, as such. But if you react to it more and you show you're upset, and sometimes it's hard not to show you're upset, they'll do it even more, because then they've got you because they've upset you, and that's what they're intending to do, to upset you, make you look stupid in front of people, whatever. But if you don't react to it, they're going to get bored and move on to someone else, because they're just going to think, do you know what, I'm doing all this, and like, the person's not even upset or anything. You know, like, we're getting bored because they want a reaction out of it. And sometimes I feel sorry for the bullies, because sometimes you don't know if they've been bullied, like I said before, and they're bullying because they want to get in there first. They're scared of getting bullied, so they'll make a joke of stuff and joke, you know, like make jokes to people to be horrible to people, so someone else doesn't come back to them, so they look all hard. Because a lot of bullies, yeah, starve the trolls, exactly. A lot of bullies are not as, you know, like at school you might be scared and thinking, oh, they might be hard, or this, that, and the other. Some of it's a persona. They're not. Some of them are probably, you know, quite weak in a sense or whatever. It's just that they have to get in there first so no one comes back to them. So if they're the bully, no one's going to bully them. So they're okay because no one's bullying them. And then they have to sort of keep that persona up. And I bet some of them are probably not eating some sweets. I got even told off I got in last night and someone was like, look, she's always eating. I was like, I've just got in from a night out and I'm making some hot dogs because I didn't have my tea. Big deal. You know, they have to, like I said, they maybe they were bullied. They don't want to get bullied, so they are the bully, so they don't get bullied. It's like, if you're the lion in the jungle, the big lion, and you're going after all the little animals, who's coming after you? Nobody, because you're the big lion. So you be the lion. Do you know what I mean? That sort of thing. But last night just made me laugh. I think they really thought I was really drunk. I wasn't. But, yeah, like I said, a friend did say to me, oh, what are you going to do if you get some trolls on? Nothing much. I'll either delete the comments. The comments they made last night anyway, because I was live, won't go up. You won't see the comments, you'll just see me talking. So, the thing is, like I said, I'm 40 years old, nearly 41. I'm not going to sit. Anything that anyone says to me, like they were calling me last night, someone said something like, oh, is she, I wouldn't be surprised if it's someone I know. Is she, are you a transvestite or something? I don't know, something stupid. So I was like, no, I'm not. Do I look like one? I mean, if I look like one, then I look like one. What? And what? A lot of transvestites are very beautiful, so that's a good, it's a nice thing to say, actually. Some of them, because I live near Manchester, and the gay, you know, what's it called, Canal Street, the gay village, we've been down there, and they've had some, you know, like, transvestites, or what they called, you know, the showgirls and all that, you know, dressed up. They're beautiful. Some of them are even more stunning than the women. So to say that, hi Brandy. To say that to me is a compliment because their makeup's amazing. You know, drag queens, that's what I was trying to say. Got a lot of drag queens. They're beautiful. So for someone to say something stupid like that, or whatever it was they said, was like, whatever, you know. If you think I look like one, then you think I look like one. And then someone said something about, oh, look at her with a tramp stamp. Tramp stamp? I was like, it's a tattoo, and it's going all around here in the end anyway. It's a tattoo of Mother Nature with butterflies on. How's that a tramp stamp? And, because I don't know who this was yesterday, at the end of the day, a lot of people have tattoos these days, so some people don't like them. Some people love tattoos. I personally love tattoos on girls, especially the rockabilly style girls. Love tattoos on men. I like nice ones. Let's get it right. You can have some khaki tattoos, people, but I do like nice tattoos. But I love a man with tattoos, and if I got with someone and they didn't have tattoos, it wouldn't bother me, but it would be like, I do like tattoos. Because I like tattoos, so you can either like them or not like them. But they were just going on last night. Have you got 12? Yeah, well, I started off with a little butterfly. Then it was this one. Then it was these. This isn't finished, it needs shading. But I'm going to be going around the whole bottom of my arm sleeve, like a bottom arm sleeve for now. Maybe I'll cover myself, I don't know. But they just made me laugh last night, like, oh, it's a tramp stamp, look at her, she's not a princess. I was like, I never said I was a princess. He was like, who would marry her? She's not a princess. I was like, and she's eating all the time. I was like, I've come in from a night out. I'm making 2 hot dogs because I haven't had my tea. I always eat when I've had a drink because you just do. And because I was swearing a little bit because I had a drink, so I do swear when I've had a drink, and because they were annoying me, yeah. It will look good when I've got them done. He was like, oh, she's not a princess, you know, like, he said I had no manners. Because obviously these trolls don't obviously watch me normally on here. I do have manners, but I don't have manners when I've come in and I'm a little bit drunk and I've got people saying, are you a transvestite? Oh, you haven't washed your pots. When my pots in the background in my kitchen we're on the draining board, they had actually been washed. But what's it to you? What's it to you that I haven't washed my pots? So what? And this, that, and the other. And I was just like, oh my God. People, what are you doing with your lives? You're just coming on to like try and wind me up, which just wasn't working because I was just laughing at it and not really taking much notice because I was too busy trying to cook my hot dogs last night. And yeah, I'm saying that won't happen again, but I don't know, do I? I could go out and get drunk again and come back on because I'd had a few drinks, but I wasn't that drunk. I don't get that drunk. But like I said, sometimes I do feel sorry for bullies in a sense because I think, well, they haven't got a life then because they're too busy trying to... I always say, if there's someone trying to bring you down or trying to be nasty, like, when I say trolls, whatever, I'm just saying bullies because they're all in the same thing. It's because they are not happy with themselves. So to make themselves happy, they will go and try and destroy, pull down, whatever, other people, because then if they pull that person down, it makes them slightly a little bit higher up than them, and it makes them feel a little bit better that someone feels lower than they feel, if you know what I mean. That's why they do it. That's why they do it. And don't get me wrong, I've bumped into people from school. It was a couple of years ago, and she used to hang around with this other girl, who probably was the ringleader, and then she probably followed her, because you do get them people, it's like Mean Girls, isn't it? You do get them people who will have the ringleader, and then because they're friends with them, they go along with what that person says for the fear that that person who's the bigger bully will bully them. So some of the friends that hang around with the bully might not always agree. Yeah, you get them everywhere, America, England, wherever, all over the world. If the person in that group, if you're quite shy as well and you don't really like saying anything, you're not gonna put yourself in that position with your friend who's the main ringleader bully to say anything, because you will be scared that they will turn on you and all the other friends in your group will turn on you and you'll be the one that gets bullied. And that probably does happen. It does happen. And you might feel sorry for the person that they're bullying, but you won't agree with it, but you won't stick up for that other person because you'll be scared of getting bullied yourself. So you just sort of go along with it, peer pressure. But these two girls at school, there's one that was more the ringleader. They didn't really say that much to me and stuff, but other people, because I talked to people at school. I wasn't overly confident at school. I think not a lot of people are really. We're all trying to find our confidence and stuff and our way and who we are and all that still now. And I saw her out a few years ago and I said to her, oh God, remember you, laughing now, oh, remember you, and you used to say these things and your friend and that. And she went, oh, it was her. She went, I know. She went, I was so awful. She went, if I could go back, she went, I really can't believe I was like that. She went, I was really awful one time. To look at her now and to hear her talk now, it's really weird because she doesn't look like the same person. She doesn't sound like the same person. She comes across really nice now. She was actually embarrassed of the way she used to be at school, because when you leave school, it's rare sometimes. I know people, my sister does, but you can lose contact with friends, even good friends, because you might go off to college, university, whatever it is, and you lose contacts. Even if maybe you still speak to them on social media or something, I don't know. You lose contact and you get other groups of friends, and you might get other groups of friends that are nicer, like I said, are into the same things and all that, and you lose that sort of like, and then you might think, God, I can't believe I was like that, and this, that, and the other. But if the ringleader always stays that bully, they'll never have proper friends throughout life, because people just won't like them. They might tolerate them, like when you're at work, tolerate somebody. But that's what I'm saying. If you're at school, I know it's very hard at school. You've just got to try and it's very, very hard. Because I've heard people over here, I'm from the UK, saying about the kids, or people that I know, their kids at school, and some have come out of school, they're getting home taught, or I've just heard a lot of kids lately, they get stressed and stuff and the pressure at school and they're getting bullied and stuff like that. But as hard as it is, you've got to try and go in, do your work, and not, it's so hard to say, not let it get to you, because try and think in the back of your mind, they've probably got problems at home. That's the thing with bullies as well. You don't know if there's something going on at their home where they could be, I'm not saying they all are, but they could have abusive parents. They could have, so if they have abusive parents or something like that, and they're taking it out on other people because that's what they're shown, they don't know what to do, because the parents are sort of, they say how you act is how your children act. Your children see what you're doing, they're going to think it's normal. I'm not saying that for everybody, but sometimes you don't know what's going on behind closed doors, because a lot of bullies big themselves up, and behind closed doors it's not what you think. Get married and have kids and your friends are still single and they don't want nothing to do with you because yeah. Well, mine's the other way around, because all my friends are married and I'm single, but I've got 2 kids, but I'm single because I've just dated people or gone out with people that are a-holes, basically. Not everybody, but, and I've had to learn the hard way, because I wasn't necessarily bullied massively at school, so I can't be like, when people say, oh, you don't know what you're talking about, because I was bullied and it was really bad. But I know people who were, and it is a reaction the bullies want, and the more you don't give it to them, and you try to get through school life thinking, when you leave school, even though I said you can go to college and university and places and it can still be there, it's just one of them things in life. There's always going to be bullies. Even if they're not they might not know the bullying, but they might just be sort of miserable people at the workplace, and you just think, oh God, I don't know. But I didn't have a hard experience with bullying like that, but then I had my comeuppance when I was with an ex that I don't need to keep mentioning, saying who it was, but that person still to this day doesn't think I think he thinks there's anything wrong with it. And I don't care if anyone on here knows this person, or this person is watching. I haven't got a clue, but I don't care, because what I'm saying is true, and I really don't care, because this person, I still believe today, doesn't know what they're doing and is a narcissist. And if you're a narcissist, everything's the other person's fault, and they'll never admit that what they've done is their fault. So it doesn't really matter what you say. They'll twist it around on you, and it's you. And I would say I was bullied because in a relationship, it was all it's awful. That's what I mean. You can get, someone just said sort of someone's friend hung themselves at 15 because of bullying. It's just so disgusting, because some people may bully, and it might get to that extent where someone takes their own life because they're so upset and they're so, they can't cope with it. They think they can't cope with it, or they think they're not getting support off people. And then that bully might be like, oh my God, I really didn't want to push the person that far. But that's what you've got to realise. If you're a bully, you might not think you're pushing somebody that far in your head, because you might think, oh, it was only a couple of silly comments. It was only a couple of silly comments to somebody else, especially somebody else who's not that confident and maybe doesn't come across, who has a lot of friends or support or something, I don't know. Then even few comments could really affect somebody. So if anyone's watching on here after who is a bully or a troll or whatever, you've really got to think about something, because is that your main thing in life? Someone's took their own life. Does that make you happy that you've made somebody do that? Because it's disgusting. It is disgusting. How about helping people? But my relationship I was in was, and this has gone in my 20s and my late 30s, and I'm 40 now. But the only good thing is, I know that if I ever saw that again, I would never, ever get in that sort of relationship again. And you do learn the hard way. I've only learned at the age of 40, or just before I was 40, what people are doing and what this person was doing to me. Didn't want me going out with them a lot because they were doing things in the pub. Oh, I'll tell the truth on here, because I've got nothing to hide. The world You can't go. I'm. If you've ever watched me on here, I'm pretty random, but I am the sort of person who I like to believe there's good people. Getting upset now, it does upset me. I'm an emotional person. What was I saying? Yeah, I'm quite a person that has my head in the clouds or quite dreamy, and I like to believe that there is good people because the amount of shit that is on the internet, on the news, that's why I say I don't watch the news because I've never voted. I think the government will say what they want to say. My mum said, well, it must be true because it's on the news. Okay, because the news said it's true, therefore it must be true. I don't believe half of the stuff that's going on in the world is for the reasons some things have happened, even though as horrible as they are. I don't believe it. Don't believe it. I believe in conspiracy things and all this. I'm just like, no. But I like to believe there are good people out there. There are good people that are trying, as much as the horrible things that go on in the world with terrorists, this, that and the other, bullying, just everything, on the scale of everything. There are good people out there, but they don't show enough of it on telly, like I said, because they don't want you to be all like... I don't believe the news because as I've got older, some people might look at this and think, what a load of crock, right? But I'm very open-minded. I'm not even going to say anything about the Twin Towers, but I'm not even going to go there. But the world, advertising, everything. I'm not a very bright person, but in my head, this probably won't come across like... I can't get it out, but I know what I mean. Advertising, to food, to anything, it's all to keep us down. Our brains, I don't know what it is, you only use so much percentage of your brain. If we use the whole of our brain, I don't know, it could be like magical beans or something, I don't know. I don't mean it weird like that, I just mean we don't use a lot of our brains. We could put our brains to more uses, probably things we don't know we can actually do because we don't use the whole of our brains, apparently, the percentage of brain power we've got. And they don't want us to know that either, so they keep us down on the low key. So when you sat there watching telly at home and they're feeding you all this stuff on the news, because if you think about it, you sat there, you're watching telly, you're eating, you're watching your films or your programmes, then the adverts come on, oh, this, that and the other. It's all like hypnotising, if you know what I mean. And the news, oh, look at this, oh, they've come over, they've done this and they've done that. It's all to get you hating other people, to believing what they're saying. A lot of it's to do with oil. I'm not going there, but it is. It is. A lot of the fighting around the world's to do with oil. There's just loads of things I can't even explain in my head to tell you. Is what the government want you to believe, want you to know, because they don't want you knowing other stuff. Or do you know what I mean? They want to keep you on the low, and they want to keep everyone like robots. Oh yes, this is true, therefore we must do this and eat this. And even with food, the amount of crap they put in food. I did go vegan once, and I must admit I am back on the meat because I've just found it hard with two kids that eat different things. But I am starting to think again, I need to sort of like, if you're going to eat meat, try not to get the processed crap, because oh, definitely. I'm not even going to read that out, but definitely didn't go there. It came from down there, down there. Yeah, I definitely do. It's all to do with stuff. We'd find out in the end people would be in an uproar, so they have to tell us it's something else. But even food, because everything's like genetically grown or it's got bloody this, that and the other on it. And processed foods is one of the biggest things. But as parents and that, you sort of... This is going to sound weird and people might not believe this, but I sort of do believe this, is when you've got kids and that, it's cheaper to get processed stuff. But in a sense, there was a programme on about weed, what is it? It's weed, marijuana, bloody grass, whatever you call it. I don't smoke it, but I believe that, you know, people have it for pain and stuff, and I think there's places in America where you can go, you can have it in Amsterdam and stuff like that, because it's a pain relief and stuff, and in some of them countries you're allowed to smoke it anyway. But I do believe it's got cancer fighting properties in it, and that's the reason why they don't want to make it, you know, legalise it or whatever the word is around the world because of that. I believe that if you ate quite a healthy diet of more greens and you weren't eating processed crap, but that's hard because a lot of food has got processed crap in it and genetically modified whatever. I think that's got a lot to do with cancer. Because years and years ago, you didn't hear a lot much about cancer. These days, but you like, what is it, the food, the chemicals we put in our body, the chemicals that they feed the animal, that goes into the animal's body, bloodstream, whatever. We're eating that animal with this. Do you know what I mean? If you look into it, it's pretty interesting. I'm not saying people might be like, oh yeah, but when you actually go and educate yourself and read up on things, it's quite interesting to think like, is there something contributing to things like that? And I'm not saying that like it's a definite, or anyone in here who's had it or know people that have passed away from it, because it is a sad thing and I have and do know people. But I do think it's a funny world where, because we have all this stuff now and all these genetically modified stuff, and we don't actually know what we're putting in our bodies. When you go to a shop, you go shopping and you're like, you don't really tend to look on the back. Some people do. You don't really tend to look at all the jargon they put on the back is chemicals, but we don't. It's just like, yeah, it's okay. It's in a shop. It's wrapped up. It's got a label on it. Do you actually really think about what you're putting in your body, or what that animal's been fed on? You don't really, do you? You just go to the shop because that's just what you do. Because as you grow up, like, I'm the sort of person that when I've never been married, I don't know if I'll ever will get married. It'd be nice to think that I would. But then again, you grow up and it's like you go to school, you go to college or university, whatever it is you do, you get a job, you get married. Some people have kids before they get married. I've got kids, I'm not married. You get married, you have kids, you get a house, you get your house, your car. It's like the normal, that's what you do in life. Well, I'm doing it backwards because I've got 2 kids, I've never been married, but I'm not keeping up with the Joneses. I'm not bothered. You don't have to do it the right way. That's what we've been told to do. You must leave school, you must find a job, you must know what job you want to be in. You must get married and you must have babies and you must it's like everything these days, like you've got to have the next goodest car. Nothing lasts these days. Cars are crap. If they're like a vintage car from years ago, I was watching Dita Fonteese the other day and she said, obviously, she loves the classic cars, but she said she'll get money back on them because they are a classic car. To a new one now, you lose money as soon as you buy it. Things don't last as long. Like, I have got a printer down there. I've not had it for that long and it's gone kaput. But I did see someone on here once saying that they put chips in things to make machines conk out after a certain amount of time, probably like your mobile phones when they start going all funny after 2 years or whatever it is. Because then you have to spend money to get another one. Spend money, because nothing lasts, because you've got to spend money to get the new model. Because that's consumerism and that's the way the world, we're just greedy. I'm just happy with a house, my kids, a roof over my head, somewhere to sleep, food in my belly, and I can treat myself to a few nice things now and again. And a few nice things to me might just be a bit of makeup or it's not massive things. It's not like I'm after a mansion and, them sort of girls who are after sugar daddies, and I'm just grateful for what I've got. And if something isn't in my life, it's not supposed to be in my life. And I know I go on about dating, I can't seem to find anyone right at the minute, but obviously there's a reason, because that person's not here yet. I do believe it's going to be next year, because I do go on the dating sites having a look, but they just make me laugh. They're just like, what the hell? I don't know. But that person isn't here yet. So this person is not supposed to be in my life yet. And sometimes you have to, it's like I've said, things happen for a reason. Even if you were bullied, I know it's going to sound mad. Even if you were bullied, and it might not seem like, if you're younger, it might not seem like it at the time, but you'll look back at a point and think it'll either have made you stand up for yourself, like Hayley was saying before, and it'll make you a stronger person. And like I was just saying, sorry, the person I was with was a narcissist, still is a narcissist. Didn't want me to go out with them because he was doing things in the pub he shouldn't be doing. So he didn't want me seeing that because I didn't know about it, but I'm not going into that. And then you've got like would put me down at every opportunity. If we were going out and I put something nice on, it was like, you look a mess, you look this, that and the other, you look fat, blah, blah, blah. There was never anything really being with that person where they actually commented on saying that I look nice, because giving me a compliment was like, you just couldn't do it. But that was my partner. Could not give me a compliment, and it was, oh, you look like a slag. Because it's because I looked nice. They don't want other men looking at you. But in my eyes, it's like, if a boy or a girl, girlfriend or boyfriend, whichever way around it is, you're going out on a night out, you look nice, you're thinking, yeah, I feel nice, and then someone gives you a crap compliment, especially the boyfriend, girlfriend that you're with, that's really awful. But if you're dressed up, no matter what you've got on, a short skirt or whatever, if you look good, they should think, you look nice, but you're with me. And if other men or women are looking at you, whichever way around it is, be proud that, well, they're looking at my girlfriend or boyfriend because they look good, but they're with me, and if you trust your partner, it's like, well, they're with me, guys, so she's with me, so you can look. But that's all. That's what I'd think. I'd be like, if it was my fella, I'd be like, yeah, he looks good, you look nice. Oh, them girls are looking at you there, but I trust you and all that. Yeah, and he looks good, but he's my fella. He's my fella. Look all you want. That's how I am. It's more of a like, be proud that you've got men or women looking at your partner, because that just means they're attractive. People can look. Oh, thank you, Brandy. People can look at other people. We're not... I walk down the street. I could be with a boyfriend now, and I could be out. Men are a bit dafter, because when I've been in a car with a fella, they'll see a girl a mile off. I'll have spotted that girl and thought, she's an attractive girl. I know he's going to look. And they try and well, if it was me, I'd spot a guy and I'd think he's handsome. But I wouldn't make a big point of being looking, because I just think, I'd have clocked him, but I'm thinking he's good looking. But that's all I'm thinking. I'm not thinking, oh my God, what a dump you and get with him. It's just I can appreciate a good looking person. Men are like this. Not all men, but they're in the car, a girl goes past and they're like, you're like, hello, I am here. You don't have to make it obvious that you're drooling at the person, but you know what I mean. I find that quite funny, but you should be proud of your partner. If they're looking good and other people are looking at them, it's just because the other people find your partner attractive, and there's nothing wrong with that, because you can go into a place and see another guy or a girl and think, she's really pretty, he's really handsome, and you're not thinking anything of it. You're just thinking, can appreciate someone who looks after themselves, someone who's, a good looking person. It doesn't mean anything, but the person I was with would get very jealous, and I would get scared of talking to someone. If I knew a lad from school and someone came over and they were like, oh, I've not seen you for ages, I'd be like, I could feel the eyes in the back of my head, Men just don't know they're doing it, Brandy. They're just no. But it makes me laugh. I find it quite funny, because if you can spot someone who you think they're going to look at them because it's maybe their sort of type, they might be a bum man or something, I don't know, and they see someone with a nice bum or whatever it is, but you can appreciate that girl's pretty too. They're going to look. It's in human nature to look. You're not doing anything, they're not touching or nothing like that. That's fine. They're just looking, because I don't get these people who are in relationships and you can't look at anyone. Really, you can look at someone. It's just not window shopping, you know what I mean? You can look at someone, but I find it very funny if you're with your partner, it make you laugh next time he does it, and they just go like that, because they're so gormless. But men just sort of do it, I think, without thinking, where women would probably do it a bit more, because your husband's probably watching you. You know as well. There's a big, handsome, muscly guy, in my case, maybe with tattoos, was coming down the street. I'd be like, especially if he looked like a Viking, because I've got to think about Viking-looking people. I'd be trying to hold it in, but I wouldn't be making a big, massive point of drooling down my face, where my partner would be like, Jesus, Janine, do you want tissue to wipe your mouth? Do you want to make it more obvious? You know what I mean? I'd be subtle, because... You know what I mean? But people look. But my partner used to get jealous, and I got to that point where I was scared of talking to somebody, if it was a man that I knew only as a friend, and they were just talking about normal things, because I'd be thinking, oh my God, and he'd go in a mood, especially if he'd had a drink, because that's his problem with drink. And it was just everything was nastiness. Even at home, I can't watch my programmes I want to watch. It was always what he wanted to watch. If I tried to say something, it'd cause an argument, but then it'd be my fault, because you know, and then it'd be all like, look at you, who'd want to be with you, you're a mess, you're fat, you're this, you're that. You know, like, really, yeah, in a way, yeah, I do think that, like, if you're with a partner, they should be all you want. But it is in human nature that people just look, even if it's not, you might not be thinking anything, but what I'm trying to say is you can appreciate a girl who's pretty, who looks after themselves, and a man who looks after themselves, because you just look, even if you're thinking, God, he's got really lovely thick beard, or, you know, even I can look, even the other way around, I can look at another girl and a man can look at another man. It's, you know, some people might be like, oh, that's a bit gay, or no, it's not. I can look at another girl and think, oh my God, she's really pretty. I love the way she does her hair and makeup. She's a really pretty girl. I can appreciate she's a really pretty girl. Where men can also look at other men to think, he's got a good set of hair and a nice beard. They probably wouldn't admit it, but they would look at other men thinking, you can tell he works out. He's, you know, he's quite a handsome fella. But yeah, we should be all for the partners, but it is human nature that we do just look. Even if you pretend you don't look, you do. It's just human nature. But as long as you don't do anything about it or touch, it's fine. But that's just life, and that's just, I think, if you didn't look at other people, you can't say you don't look at people. If you didn't look at other people, I don't know, it'd be weird. It'd be nice, but we do. But yeah, you know, I was told I couldn't watch what I wanted to watch, even though it was my house this person lived in. I couldn't watch what I wanted to watch. Everything, if anything turned into an argument over the stupidest, littlest thing, they'd go in a mood, and then it'd be my fault, and everything was my fault. It was like, look at you, you're a mess, who'd get with you, blah, 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 blah. Just absolutely loads of crap, and it was verbal abuse, and sometimes it was physical. But I stayed in it. I even had a child, but I got out of it because this person, when I was 5 weeks pregnant, for the people who don't know, I didn't know at the time, but 5 weeks pregnant, and I don't care who's watching this, who knows, because I don't care, and what he's told other people. Yeah, I mean, if you've got a lot of tattoos, because someone was just saying, if no one knows, a lot of women look at her husband because she's got a lot of tattoos. People will look sometimes because of the tattoos, maybe not all the time, because they're after your husband or whatever. Obviously, people with tattoos stand out, and that is the first thing people are going to see. Even if you're like a mile down the road, you're going to see tattoos, and it's going to be like, oh, even if they're trying to look at the tattoos. But I guess obviously someone with tattoos is going to stand out a little bit more, especially if they've got a lot, to people who don't, and that's the first thing you probably see. But yeah, 5 weeks pregnant, he started calling me a whale and this, that, and the other, and we were going to somebody's house, and I just thought, you know what? I'm your partner, I'm pregnant, 5 weeks pregnant, and you're calling me stupid names. And I thought, he's never going to change because he was 10 years younger than me. This is not going to work. I can't believe I'm having a baby to him. And I got rid of him that weekend. Later to find out, so many months after, he was actually cheating on me with someone and telling her that we were in a bad place and all this. We weren't. He was a cheat anyway, because I'd been with him before and he cheated on me, and I stupidly got back with him thinking 4 or 5 years down the line, because he was younger than me, that he might have changed. And when he came back to woo me, because he'll say he didn't, but he did, it took me 2 weeks to say yes, because I just thought, do leopards change the spots? Oh yeah, it's good that I'm not with him anymore. He's definitely a coward. And I really did. Some people say leopards don't change the spots, but people can change the spots, because people do grow up and think, not everybody, but mainly you think, oh God, you know, you start growing up and stuff, and leopards can change the spots. So I thought maybe he has, you know, and I'll give him another chance, because he seemed quite genuine. Hang on 1 minute, I need to warm my coffee up. I'm going to show you the snow still. I'm just getting my coffee, but I think the snow stopped snowing now. I'll just show you. It's not like mega snow, but it's snow. I'll just plug you back in before my battery runs out. Ooh. Plug you in. I think I need... Where's my plug? Ah, you got snow yesterday? Yeah, we had a little bit. I'm just trying to find... So let me go and find my other plug while my coffee's going. Back in a minute. Sorry, I had to resume my filming. My battery just went, and I've just found another charger because for some reason I think my plug's a bit dodgy. So yeah, what was I saying? So yeah, the person I was with, I forgot what I was saying then. Yeah, so he was cheating on me, and I'd obviously told people and the girl he was with that we weren't getting on, this, that and the other. I have spoke to some people that know him a bit ago, and no, I wasn't saying that, was I? I was saying that. Yeah, and said, actually it's me who chucked him out, and he didn't leave me, I got rid of him, and then found out so many months later we've seen someone. And it really hurt me because, in a way, I felt so stupid. My son, mine and his son now is 2 and he's 3 in March. And I feel so hurt because he's 10 years younger than me as well. I'm 40, and having a kid a bit later on is a lot harder, I think. In a way it is, in a way it isn't. But, to have a child, and he really wanted a child as well. And I don't know what he's told the person that he's still with now, even though I doubt he's that nice to her either. Once a narcissist, always a narcissist. And just let me get comfy. It was quite hurtful to me for someone to want a baby and then just be like that. And then I had to get rid of him because I thought there's no way in the world at 5 months pregnant, someone talking to me and then obviously finding out what I found out. Being like that is not going to change, thinking, oh, we're having a baby, he's going to change, he'll stop going out to the pub so much and he'll stop doing this. No, he doesn't. He hasn't now. He still goes out when he wants to go out. And it really hurt me, and it was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. I'm not going to get upset. To go through the whole pregnancy on my own, with no support of him as such, really, because he wasn't really that bothered, and to just go through it on my own, because I'm an emotional person anyway, but to go through a pregnancy, really emotional, upset with myself that I'd got myself in that situation, and in the sort of world, that everyone else does, they're having a baby with someone who you love, and because my first child, he was 18 yesterday, on Thursday, we just got together too young. We were together, we had a house and all that, we nearly got engaged, we were together 7 years, but we just split up because we just grew apart, because we just grew up, and that does happen sometimes, so therefore, that's why that happened. Why I'm telling you why this one happened. But I do love my boys and everything, and I wouldn't change it for the world now that my little one's here, despite everything I went through, because now I just think it was a lesson, a big, massive lesson, and I'm glad my little one's here because he's just great. It's a shame that it's with the person it's with, but if anything, I came out of it a lot stronger. I know the sort of person I would like to be with now, and the sort of person I could smell him a mile away, as in, if I ever got with a person, well, I wouldn't, but if I ever started seeing traits of someone with the traits that he's got, I would run a mile, because there's no way in the world I'd ever get with anyone who puts their partner down, who abuses them, thinks they don't, but abuses them with the mouth and can be abusive with the hands sometimes, is so I don't know, just so happy, seem to be happy when they're putting the partner that they're with down constantly all the time. Call me old-fashioned, but, well, it's not call me old-fashioned. When you're with somebody and you have a partner, oh, I thought it wasn't filming then, you're supposed to love that person, so therefore you are building them up and supporting them, and you want to support them and you want to be loving. Yes, you have your arguments like people do, your little disputes, and it's okay if you actually have chats with each other and you don't actually agree on the same thing, like some things I was saying about conspiracy things. You could sit there and have a debate about, oh yeah, well, I believe this. It doesn't mean you have to go in a mood with it. He'd actually go in a mood with you, and you were wrong, he was right, and it's like, well, we'll agree to be, different on the subject. But I don't understand how, well, they're just bullies, aren't they? How you can get with someone and they just constantly want to put you down, and you get upset and you're crying, and they just don't get it. Like, why would you want your girlfriend or your boyfriend to be upset? You're happy that you're making your partner's life a misery. And I sort of knew again at the beginning, this is why I just don't know what happened, but I just think, I'm so glad I'm out of that relationship. Never ever would go back there again. I hate the fact that it's took me this long, because I always think, God, if I hadn't have took him back, a while back, that I could have met somebody that was meant for me now, and I could be happy, I could be married, I could be blah, 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 whatever. But then again, I think, well, it wasn't meant to be, was it? And it doesn't mean I would have met somebody, I could have fell into the same trap of meeting somebody with them sort of traits, because I hadn't learned not to sort of stand up for myself, and maybe I still would have been weak at that time and would have got with someone still like that, because they have a very good way of, a narcissist, he had a very good way of making you feel like everything was your fault and that basically you were not worthy of anything. I felt that way because he used to tell me that all the time and said that you're not, look at yourself, no one will want you, blah, blah, blah. I knew in the back of my head it wasn't true, because I know, I'm not saying I'm Mother Teresa or anything, but I am a nice girl. I try to be nice. I'm not a nasty person. I don't go around intentionally trying to hurt anybody or anything. I can get peed off sometimes about things, but doesn't everyone. But I'm not a nasty person. So in the back of my head, I knew that wasn't right. But they have a good way of making you think that you are a piece of crap, basically, and that no one would want you and you're not worthy of anything. It's all that thing of, we'll keep you down there so you feel like crap, because it makes me feel a lot better. Because I know to this day he feels shit about himself. I know he's a crappy person. I don't care what people say. The guys that I saw last night that were actually his friends, I found out after that they were his friends. They were like, oh, he's all right. I said, yeah, as a friend, he's all right. You're seeing him in the pub. You're seeing him out in his happy mode when he's with his friends. He's not going to, behind closed doors, you do not know what he's like, because I can't stand it when people say, oh, yeah, they're all right. Oh, it could be anyone. He's all right. Yeah, he's all right because he's out in a pub drinking in his happy place or whatever he's doing with his mates. When he's at home behind closed doors, you are not his girlfriend. You have not got a clue what he's like to live with behind closed doors. And some people say, oh, you should have got out there. It's easy to say that, but you sort of get trapped in a thing of, they make you feel that you're not worthy, so you've got to stay with him because no one else is going to want you, so you've got to stay there and put up with the crap that they're giving you, because it's your fault. It was my fault. It's my fault he was doing the things and saying the things to me, because it was my fault. I was making him do it. I wasn't. I know now. I wasn't. It's him. It's how he thinks. He's got a problem, basically. And then after we split up, obviously when I found out about the cheating business, I was mortified, because he was telling me at the time he wasn't with anyone. It was just lies, because narcissists lie. It was awful. And I was really, really upset. I was happy that I wasn't with him, but I was just mortified at the fact that we were having a baby, and I didn't know at the time as well, because this all came out after. When I had Finn, I actually let him come in the room. I wasn't going to let him because I was so annoyed with him. And he was with her then. He was texting her, and I didn't know about that at the time. It was just so disgusting, like, just lies after lies after lies. But I was more mortified for myself after, because I just thought, how have I let someone come back into my life when I knew what they were like before, pull the wool over my eyes again, ground me into the ground like they did. And that's why I came on here 2 years ago, whatever it was now, or nearly 2 years ago, talking to people, because I wanted to, because I'd had Finn and I'd had a newborn, and I was feeling a bit lonely as in trapped in the house, and I see my friends and stuff, but I'm a single mum, and I just wanted to see what people sort of thought of me in a sense, because I was believing in myself anyway, thinking I'm not what he says I am. I think I'm an alright person. I'm going to see what sort of, probably a bad idea to come on here and be like what people think, but I'm not bothered what people think really, but just to see how I come across to people, because I knew it wasn't true, and to come on here you have to have a little bit of confidence, and I've built a lot of confidence up now, and I really don't care what people think anymore, hence with what went on last night. And I'm actually proud of myself. When I look back now, I'm proud of myself that I went through all of that, because I'm all right just thinking about when I'm thinking about getting upset, because I'm thinking about when I was pregnant and on my own. It was just, even after I had Finn, the first couple of months when he was newborn, when you're really knackered, it was just really hard, because I didn't have a partner there to help me. I know a lot of people don't. I know there's a lot of people who've been in my situation, or they've just split up, or something's happened, and they're on their own, so you'll understand it. It's just really, really hard. And looking back, it's the hardest thing I've ever done. But, in a sense, the best thing I've ever done, because it's made me a lot stronger. And I will not put up with any shit off anyone again. The amount of crap he give me. And some people say, you're too open, you might be too open on here, you're too nice. Like, how, if you go into a next relationship, you really need to be a bit more, you know how some girls are a bit more bitchy and like be all like attitude and this, and I'm like, no, because that's not me. I'll be as nice as I am normally, and I'll tell them what I normally tell them, and I'll be open with people and truthful. But at the end of the day, if I see those traits, I won't be going there. Someone can't like me for me, and me for being truthful and being normal sort of thing. But I'm just glad that I can see them traits now, and if someone can't like me for me, then it's their loss, because when I'm with someone, I'm very loyal, I'm very caring. I want to see, some people say, oh, you're really soft, because I'm the sort who'd be like, oh, I'll make you a bacon butty in the morning before you go to work, and oh, I'll do this. And even my mum and other people have said, you do what? You make them the sandwiches before they go to work? They should be doing that themselves. Oh, you do that? I mean, in the end, I did stop. And when I stopped it with him, he'd get arsey, like, oh, you're being a lazy bitch now because you're not making me sandwiches. Or you're not. How about you make your own damn bacon sandwich? How about you make me a bacon sandwich? But because I did it, I can see where people are coming from. Because I used to do it from the beginning, when I stopped doing it, because he was giving me that much crap and that nasty, I thought, why am I trying to overcompensate, being nice, thinking he might think, oh, I feel I shouldn't be nasty to her because she's really nice to me. Why am I doing all these things when he's just treating me like dirt, basically? So when I did stop it, I got a load of verbal abuse. And people would say, well, don't do it. But I still think I would do it for someone I was in love with, because that's what you do. Maybe I wouldn't do it all the time now, or maybe it'd be a bit of a deal thing, like, if I make you a couple in the week, you need to make me breakfast at weekend. Because to me, a relationship is 50-50. And even something I saw on Facebook a few months ago, it made me cry, actually. It might not sound like a big thing, but In the olden days, the men used to go to work, the women used to stay at home with the kids and cook and clean and housework, and people don't see that as a job, but it bloody is, and it's as boring as anything, housework. And some people still do that now, stay-at-home mums, stay-at-home dads, whatever way around it is, it's not, people still do that. But what I hate is when he lived here, he'd expect you to clean, he'd go on about, say there was a bit of food on a plate, and he'd go mad about it. Oh, you haven't washed it properly. How about you washing it? You live in this house. How about you help tidy up? Because the thing is, fair enough if you're a stay-at-home mum or dad and you're doing that, and that's your sort of job because your fellow wife's out there working. That's sort of like your little job, because it is a job. It is a job, and it's a hard job. Some people would rather go out to work than do it because it is a hard job. Staying at home with kids and cleaning and all that, making sure everything's running smoothly. But if you're someone who goes to work and your partner goes to work as well, and then you're coming home with your kids as well and starting the nighttime routine of tea, cleaning and this, that and the other, and that person just sits there, and that's man or woman. And they were saying this on Facebook, and this guy said, his friend was round, and he said, I'm just going helping my wife. And he went, oh, aren't you really good that you help your wife, I'd wash the dishes or something, I don't know what it was. And he was like, no, I don't do it because, he felt like he had to do it. He was doing it because he wanted to help her. Because basically, they both worked. Why should she come home? Typical stereotype, the woman should be clean. And he said, I live in this house. My children live in this house. We make a mess. Why is it for my wife coming home from work to start tidying up? He said, we all live here, so I expect my children to help tidy up. I expect myself to help tidy up, cook, clean, put my own clothes away, put my washing on stuff, and help my wife as well, because we all live in the same house. We all go out to work, so it's not just up to my wife to take care of the house when it's his house as well and his mess. And I thought, that is the nicest thing to say, because actually, yes, don't sit on your ass thinking you're flipping kingo husband guy. If your wife's working as well, or the other way around, because even if it's not all the time, yeah, maybe you should pick up your clothes and put the washing on and make your wife a brew and cook tea sometimes. And that's what I just mean with when I was doing everything. He couldn't even be bothered with making me breakfast, and if you asked him, he'd be like, oh, I do this and I do that, like he thought his job was the hardest job in the world because he was an electrician and it's like a brain surgeon job. And he'd take the mick out of your job, like I was a nursery nurse, but like, oh, what do you do all day? Just sit and play with kids. Well, you're not a brain surgeon, mate, so whatever. You know what I mean? I hope he does watch this. But he wouldn't acknowledge anything he's done. Because narcissists don't, they just twist everything and make it your fault. And if you see traits in someone like that, please don't be with him. If you're married, it might be hard, but if you're with someone who does not build you up or support you, he'd never hardly take me out. He'd go out with his mates, but he'd never hardly take me out. I know why now, but because he was cheating and stuff, but if you're with anyone who, if you've got in a new relationship, someone's putting you down, you're starting seeing traits of someone putting you down, they try to cause arguments out of nothing, and even if, they started it and it's always your fault, and I don't know, stuff like that, just get rid of him. Because I'm telling you now, the girl he's with now, she's going to have a life of hell with him. She's been with him a while now, the one he cheated on me with, and she's a nice girl and everything, but at the end of the day, she ain't going to have a good life with him, because I just don't see him. Like I said, some people can change, but I do not see him changing at all. He doesn't see the error of his ways. He thinks, it's other people and stuff. That's why I made a point of telling his friends last night when I was out. I said, behind closed doors, you don't know what he's like, but I don't know. It's just, it is very hard when you're in an abusive relationship, because you're with a bully, because he was a bully, because you don't always see it and you're put down in the ground that much that you just feel worthless. So you don't want to make that move to get rid of them or move out yourself or whatever it is. But I did. And the weekend I got rid of him and told him to go is the weekend he went off to hers. So, one of these days he'll get his karma right back in his face. I know he's had some of it already, but believe me, nastiness doesn't attract positive energy. Nastiness will just attract, it was negative, so he will get negative karma coming to him. Most people do. You'll hear about it. So never worry if you're getting bullied in the end, because in the end you'll hear something about somebody, or they got bullied or something. In the end, maybe it'll take time. It's not always quick, but they will get karma in the end of something, or they'll have something maybe similar, because they could be the sort of people that end up leaving school, going to college, going to uni, going to work, and they were all this, that and the other at school, but when they actually get in a workplace or college or maybe uni, maybe they're a bit shyer now because they're not with the friends they had at school, and maybe they end up getting bullied, and they get the tail end of that as well, and they don't like it, and then maybe they realise that what they did at school wasn't right. You've seen them programmes where years after they've been on a chat show and they've got the bully on, and the bully's actually, said sorry and couldn't believe they were like that because it happened to them, and they realised what they put other people through. So, yeah, I don't know, I've just rambled on and on and on. I think I've been on for about 1,000 hours, but I'm going to go now and have another hot drink because it's full of snow outside. I was going to say tidy up a bit because I'm a bit tired from last night. I think I'm just going to chill out and see if there's anything on. I may come for a chat again because I'm just in one of them chatty moods. I don't know. I'm trying to think, what could I come back and have a chat about? I'll have a think. You might be sick of seeing me this weekend, but I'm going to have a bit of a chill. And I might come back. The only reason I'm doing it live is because it's going to conk out. I don't know what I've just rambled on for the past whatever, but it was just bullies basically. Bullies are bullies. Ooh, someone's knocking at the door, hang on. Ooh. Oh, something my son ordered with his birthday money, not this, parcel. It's just got delivered. So I think someone just said hi again. I don't know if there's anything anyone would like me to have a chat about after, or anything, I don't know. I've noticed, it was really weird, because last night when I came in a bit drunk, it got a lot of views on that because there was trolls on it, and I don't know what happened, because that's where I'm saying I can understand where if people do daft things or put funny captions on the titles, you'll get more views, but I don't do it for that. That's just what happened last night. But all of a sudden I've not got a lot of subscribers, going up slowly. It's 215 the other day. I think I looked and it's gone to 226. So I don't know what happened there. I don't know if people just came on and thought, we like her. I talk about random stuff. If you're new, hi. I talk about random stuff. I'm very flitty. If I like something, I start doing it, and then I get bored and do something else. But basically, I do chat a lot. And some people might not like people chatting a lot. And some people do. Because people have said to me, it's like sitting with a friend and having a brew, sitting down. I'm having a chat and I'm telling you what's happened. Like, I tried to last night when I was a bit drunk. But, I'll have a see what I might want to talk about after, if I do come back, unless I fall asleep on the couch. So yes, I'm going now with my tramp stamp, as someone said last night, just because I've got a tattoo. And apparently I'm not a princess, but I never said I was a princess, so I don't know what's going on there. But yes, I'll have a think, and I'll see you all soon. And to any new ones in America, Alabama, or wherever you said you were from, hi. I shall see you soon. Bye.